Hey guys, speaking of Korea, what is the first thing that comes to mind? K-pop, Korean drama, Korean street food, or something else? I want to share some different Korean stuff with you this time. The journey of how Korea became a country with democracy. So please, join me. After World War II, Korea was divided into two separate nations, North Korea and South Korea. The Korean War broke out in 1950 eventually, and the history of the Korean peninsula has changed drastically since then. Korea remained divided after the Civil War until now. In order to prevent North Korea from infiltrating communism into South Korea, the country imposed a dictatorship for a couple of decades. On October 26 of 1979, President Park Chung-hee was assassinated by Kim Jae-gul, the former director of the KCIA. This assassination planted a seed for a series of democratization movements in the future. A wave of demonstrations began to sweep across the country. The Korean people craved for more freedom, democracy, and against the dictatorship. On May 18th of 1980, the Gwangju Uprising started, and there were violent clashes between the army and the protesters. Hundreds were killed and thousands were wounded by the army within 10 days' protest. This was also one of the most famous incidents in the history of Korean politics that imposed a huge impact on the globe. After the Gwangju Uprising, the pro-democracy movement fell into a brief ebb for the next few years. However, the demonstrations in the universities did not stop. The students were struggling against Chon Tu-hwan's dictatorship in the aftermath of the Gwangju Uprising. In 1987, Park Jung-choi, a student of Seoul National University, was detained and tortured to death on 14th January, after refusing to disclose the whereabouts of one of his fellow activists. Park's death was initially suppressed. The truth was revealed to the public in May, further leading to public sentiment. The demonstrations kept going in June, and students of Yonsei University demonstrate at the university on June 9th. During the protest, student Lee Han-yoi was seriously injured by a tear gas grenade that penetrated his skull. In critical condition, he quickly became a symbol of the subsequent protests over the weeks that followed. After a few nationwide mass demonstrations, Roh Tae-woo, the candidate for the presidency of the Democratic Justice Party, issued the June 29th declaration, capitulating to the demands of the protesters by promising to amend the constitution. Eventually, Chon Tu-hwan's government gave in to the people. The amendment of the constitution finally began. On October 12th, the constitutional bill was passed, and on October 28th, it was approved. In December of 1987, the people of South Korea ushered in their first presidential election. I must say, it was one spectacular journey for the Korean people and all of us. That's how you know it. I'll see you in the next video. Please like and subscribe. Bye.